I'm Laura Wynn. Welcome to my Win-Win Kitchen, where delicious recipes and great tools are a win for everyone. I'm so glad you could join me, and I'm looking forward to baking some more with you. And I wanted to go over a couple tips before we get started. If you are relatively new to baking and you haven't done much measuring, this video is for you. If you are experienced at baking, it can be a review, or you can skip ahead to the recipe at the end if you like. So today I'm going to show you how to measure ingredients properly, and that's really important for baking because baking is a science and we need to have exact measurements to make sure that our whatever we're baking turns out really well. Today I'm going to show you how to measure each kind of ingredient. I'm going to show you the three kinds of ingredients you might come across would be dry ingredients like sugar or flour, wet ingredients like water or milk, and some of these ingredients that are sort of in between dry and wet, like peanut butter or honey or vegetable shortening. We can start with dry ingredients. In your kitchen, you'll probably find some measuring cups that look sort of like this, and we use this for larger amounts of dry ingredients. If we want to do small amounts of dry ingredients, we use measuring spoons. When you measure dry ingredients, you want to make sure you get just the right amount. If you fill up your scoop, your cup, and it's heaping on top, that's too much. That's not the right amount for the baking. And if you don't have it full enough, that's going to cause problems too. So how do you get it to be exactly right? You fill it up so that it's heaping on top, and then you get something with a flat edge, like a table knife. And you just take it across the top and take all the extra off. And that creates the correct measurement for your recipe. That's dry ingredients. Now let's go on to wet ingredients. For wet ingredients, you're going to want liquid measuring cups. Liquid measuring cups usually have a spout of some kind and a handle for you to hold on to. Some of them will have numbers going up the side like this. Some of them have numbers inside, and if you look, the 1 cup line is right where I have the meniscus, or the line between the liquid and the air. You can see is right on the 1 mark. For stickier items like peanut butter, you can use your dry ingredient cups, or I like to use this one. Maybe you have this in your kitchen as well, where you can add your sticky peanut butter or honey or whatever it is. And no matter if you're using a regular measuring cup or one like this, you want to make sure you get all the bubbles out. We don't want any air in there because then we don't have quite enough peanut butter. And the great thing about a measure-all cup like this is that once you're finished, you just pop and scrape it off. You will need some kind of scraper when you're doing sticky items like peanut butter, because you want to make sure you can scrape it all off. And if you're using measuring cups, you'll need to scrape it out of the measuring cups as well. Now let's make a fun recipe together. I'm going to show you how to make chocolate milk mix so that you can take regular milk and turn it into chocolate milk. And we're going to use our dry ingredient measuring cup. We need 2/3 cup sugar. I already have 1/3 cup in here, so I'm going to measure my second 1/3 cup. And I'm going to take my flat edge and take it right off, so it's exactly right. And then we need 1/3 cup of baking cocoa powder. So I'm going to stick this in here, and if you need to, you could put it in a bowl first to help. So I have a hole there, so I'm going to bring it back. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take my straight edge right into there and pour it into my bowl. The recipe also says that we should add a pinch of salt. What is a pinch of salt? A pinch is really what you can have in between your fingers. So what I usually do is I pour a little bit of salt into the palm of my hand, and then I take my other hand and I pinch some salt, and I put that in the recipe, and the rest I usually just put in the sink. So now we have our pinch of salt, and we're going to stir this all together. And this creates our chocolate milk mix. once I have it mixed so that there's a really even mixture of sugar and cocoa powder. You don't want to see any clumps of sugar or any clumps of cocoa powder. Once it all looks just the same color brown, that means it'll be ready. And then to make my drink, you can use 1 or 2 tablespoons of the mix in your cup. Now we should know the difference between a tablespoon and a teaspoon. If you look at a recipe and you see a big T, that means you want the big guy, the tablespoon. And if you see a lowercase t, that means you want the small guy, the teaspoon. This recipe says tablespoon, so we're gonna use the big guy. And I like my milk pretty chocolatey. And you can practice measuring this way too by sliding it off so it's exactly a tablespoon. This isn't baking, so it would be okay if you didn't quite get it perfect, but I'm going to practice doing that today. Put that in the cup. And because sugar melts best in warm liquid, I'm going to go get a little bit of warm water, just a tablespoon. I'm going to turn my sink on until it's warm. When I feel that it's warm, I'm going to get 1 tablespoon. Slow that down. And I'm going to put it here in my cup and start stirring it, and that will help it melt a little bit, all that sugar. Now it's kind of like a chocolate syrup. See that on the side of the cup. And then I'm going to take my milk. I measured 1 cup. You don't have to measure it. You can just fill your cup however full you want. But I was practicing measuring my liquids. So I did 1 cup, and then I'm going to stir it really well. And once you can see, if you can see in the glass cup, you'll be able to tell if it's mixed well. Otherwise, just mix it until it seems like it's mixed pretty well. And then you have your nice glass of chocolate milk to enjoy. Cheers! You can keep the extra chocolate milk mix in a container with a lid and get it out whenever you're ready to use it. Now that you know how to measure things, we are ready to start baking. But don't forget, every time you complete a project, you want to clean up afterwards.